So what is the line?
What is the line? That's what I want to ask. What do you want? Unataka?
Wacha nijibu. Wacha nikwambie mimi nataka.
Unataka nini? It's so appealing for a gentleman to walk up to you. Niko na my girls up and Kona Joy. I'm with Sharon and you know we're there. And then he says, Kerry, can I talk to you? Hey! Jesus is Lord! And men in church.
Is it men who do it?
No, women.
Even men.
Because you are bashing men so much. No,
Even men.
I know you have been paid here, but...
Welcome to Coffee with BDM. What a joy it is to have you tune in at this particular time. We are taking this thing to the next level, as you can see. It's not just me and somebody else that we're discussing issues. We have an audience, we have got guests, and what a joy it is. I want you to take this opportunity to just tune in, press that button, share with as many people as possible. Let's have this wonderful talk show that's going to be a blessing to a lot of people. We will be discussing something that is itching because we believe in scratching where it is itching. So please take that short second and just press the button and share with as many people as possible. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be thrilling, it's going to be a blessing, and you will leave here with some knowledge, some understanding, and maybe some light on some confusing issues that are affecting our community. With us today is Kerry Kagiri. She is a radio presenter, wonderful lady, and has been used by God to address so many topics in our country. So please help me welcome Kerry Kagiri to the studio with us today.
Hello.
Welcome, Kerry.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm happy.
I thought Kerry was a man's name.
No, there's Kerry Washington. Oh, wait, we don't know those people, no.
I know John Kerry, who was running for president in the U.S.
There's Kerry Washington, a great actor, just like me.
Oh, okay. It's a very unique name.
Thank you,
Welcome.
sir.
It's such a joy to have you in the studio.
But it's a branding name, but just FYI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my parents are not that creative, but I love you guys. You know that.
God bless you.
God bless you, sir.
With us also is none other than RB Robert Burale. He's in the house. What a joy it is. Robert Burale is in the house today. RB, welcome.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop.
Yeah, we're discussing this topic about, are there men in the church?
Yeah.
I am hearing people complaining all the time, particularly ladies. I don't know why the ladies are complaining and the men are not. But some men are complaining. I think you're one of them who complains there are no women in the church.
They are there by physicality, but the question is they ask for kings, but are they queens themselves?
Whoa. What do you have to say about that, Kerry?
I want to say you men run away from queens because queens ask questions. And so we ask you, what is your vision? And you're like, that chick was asking me, I went to meet her and she was asking me, so you scatter. Is that a king mentality?
True. Most women want a car, but they don't have a driving license.
Which women?
Many in church. I think, Bishop, the problem in church with the women, and I'm sure the men here will agree with me, and women will agree quietly, is that they over-spiritualize some things. Fine, you've seen a man that you like, and the man has approached you, but you want to go on a 40-day fast. So if 3 men approach you and you do 40, 40, 40, that's half the year gone. And then next year you'll be telling your bishop, lay hands on me, the devil is attacking my marriage. Well, you're over fasting. There's some things you discover. I think you preached one time and said, you will never know somebody in your courtship stage to the fullness. But you want to call all your intercessor friends, you go to a prayer center, and some of them pretend to be praying for you, but they're not praying for you. They actually don't want you to get married. I think that's the biggest problem with women is that they are their own worst enemies. And that's why we have very many women who are single in church, and men are the fault people. Men are being blamed, yet we are ready.
Well, I hear that some women complain about men, all they do also is to pray, and take their girlfriends to Uhuru Park with half loaf and milk, that kind of thing. That's all they do, and quote scriptures, and they're lazy when it comes to dating. I mean, expecting God to do the work for them. They don't do the work they're supposed to do.
I know Kerry is very excited here.
Louder.
No, I agree. And the truth of the matter is that
Do we have lazy men in the church who,
Absolutely.
all they do is pray, fast and read scriptures, and they don't do what they're supposed to be doing?
absolutely. There's some men who also, the only time they say hi to a woman is when the bishop says, turn to your neighbor and say hello. But also men in church need to step up. And there's nothing demonic in taking a lady out for a date and just say, I like your hair. But there's some men, when a woman says, I like your eyes, you say, it is the goodness of the Lord. So there's some men who also are letting us down in church. And that's why women are going out there to look for men who are not born again, hoping to evangelize to them. Because the men in church, some of them, you only meet a woman in a kesha.
Do you want to jump into this?
I want to jump into it and say, first of all, women in the church don't have to go looking for men outside. Those men come to church and they find us right there. And they got game. They got game. Pastor, those guys can tell you things. You're like, is that really in the word of God?
They
Brother,
got game.
tell me more. This story for over-spiritual. I don't think there's any word like over-spiritualizing, but let me not go backwards. Let's go forwards. There's cultural Christians, people who have been brought up in church. They are not men of God. They're not even born again. But they'll be brought up in church when the pastor says a line of the scripture, they know how to finish. Surely, goodness and mercy. But the guy does not practice, he has no idea what that means. So these men are actually in the church. The men of God that are in the church, I can tell you, they're like 4. Out of a whole, maybe 1,000.
What do you mean 4?
I'm just saying, general. The genuine people who actually love God. Let me give you a case example. You can tell a godly man by how he handles things and this always goes down to sexuality, in terms of how he's conversing with you, the kind of spaces he wants to hang out. Like date number 2, you shouldn't be asking me to go to my house. You know what I'm saying? Tukunywe hizo kawa zote zenye ziko. Tukimaliza hii twende ingine. Let's finish. Let's have conversation. Let's talk. Let's get to know where we're at mentally, physically. But guys already want to take it to the house and it's the 2 of us. Are you my brother? No. So already they expose you to seme, yes. And plus also on that story for dating, y'all don't know how to take a woman out. In fact, Christian men don't even open doors. On Sunday service, we should be seeing all the brothers when you drive bibi zao, wamesimama kwa side ya bibi, wakimfungulia mlango. So the sons have never seen it. They see it in the movie. They're like, this thing is not true. Have I ever seen my dad opening a door for a woman? But a guy, a godly, a cultural Christian, not a man of God. But yeah, we'll actually be waiting for you there and we'll take care of you. We'll talk to you well. We'll know how to care. We'll not sit down before you sit down in a restaurant. Won't start eating before you.
That is Western, isn't it? Don't you think it's Western?
It's not Western. It's just gentlemanness. It's just care. The thing that women are looking for, and this one I will say, we're looking for someone to care. Someone to not necessarily even provide, but someone who's there and gives you that security, that peace. These church boys, they have no idea what security is. Anabebwa na mama yake Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Anangoja wewe umpatie security.
Let me ask you. Now that you talk about, second time you don't want to go to the guy's house and stuff. Is there anything like Christian dating?
There is Christian
I thought dating is dating.
Dating is for data. But Christians like to say, we want courtship. But you can only do courtship after you've collected data. Because you can't be having conversations with someone who, honestly, you're not on the same level with in terms of so many things. So, thank you. I thank you very much. So, yeah.
I think we should come.
But it's okay, guys. It's okay. Let's move. I just feel like we don't know that when you date someone, you're dating them to collect information about who they are, where they're at, if you guys can meet anywhere, and all that. People just date for, oh, that person looks nice, or I'm ready for marriage. Oh, I'm also ripe. Oh, nimeiva. Let's do this thing, So I think we need to learn how to date. We need to know the major questions you need to ask someone. For me, unfortunately, by date 3, I have to ask you, what's your relationship with money? Are you in debt? Because it's something I am going to acquire and I'm going to start be paying for this debt. I'm not saying that I'm the baller of the ballers, but I understand that we need to collaborate in some sense and our finances at some point will come together. But you ask a Christian man, what's your relationship with money? He's like, oh, I think it's too soon. I'm like, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing? So yeah, dating is for data. Let's collect information. But do
you think there are things they have said too soon, though?
No.
in dating?
If I'm meeting you and we want to have a godly relationship is going to marriage. You're not my business partner. You're not my relative. Tuna meet kufanya nini? And friends, we've collected friends. I have friends from primary, nikapata wengine high school, nikapata wengine campus, masters. I won't come to collect any more friends. I don't mind making new friends. I mean, I might be, as an adult, but we cool. We ain't gonna be talking every day. We ain't gonna be going out for dinners and lunches. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if I'm creating time to sit down with you, and it's time that I don't even have, it's such a precious resource. Please don't take someone out on a date when you don't want to date them. Yeah.
Why would somebody take the problem to take someone out on a date?
Because they're bored and they have money and it makes them feel good to spend on you and take care of you. I think it gives you a certain satisfaction.
It doesn't make sense though.
Some guys feel nice.
We're bashing men too much here.
Yeah.
Because you're saying men...
Sips tea.
Please sip, because I'm coming hard now. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes...
Oh, this is so good.
It is also the women, especially church women, and most men here have gone through this. A woman can even send you a text and say, God has said you're my husband. You are complaining on the third date, on the second date being told to go home. You on the first text, you are saying, I've seen us cutting a cake in a dream.
What if I have?
And then, no. Because that is a game that many, and I'm not saying God cannot speak that way, but it is a common thing that women in church do, Bishop.
Well, you mean...
men in church.
Is it men who do it?
No, women.
Even men.
Because you are bashing men so much. No.
Men.
I know you have been paid here, but...
If God speaks to one person, he speaks to the other person.
No, but also, is God a God of confusion?
No.
I know some men who have received maybe the same kind of message from 10 women.
That and God it's says, God.
God, yeah.
Are you that man?
No. I know the bloggers are watching. Because it is something that Christian girls talk. And then you say, this is how I got my man. And the moment you put in God, you capture the man. And it is wrong sometimes when you use God. And you say, if you don't marry me, your destiny is finished. You have this thing of saying, I am the one who is carrying your destiny. Who said?
I've been told the same thing by a guy who literally said to me these exact words. And now just bring it out, I need to forgive him because I really got mad. This is like 6 years ago. And he said to me, you're my wife. And if you don't marry me, whoever you marry, mta divorce and you'll still be my wife. You have to agree, Bishop, that it's on both sides where people come at you with the name of God. But I don't believe God speaks to one person. I feel by the time a man is approaching me, there's an aura that the Lord will release. Oh, my boss, how are you there? I will just know. Oh.
You're getting emotional now.
I'm getting so happy because
it's happening. Stop blaming Boaz.
It's happening. I'm not blaming him. What?
Mnasema tu Boaz kila saa. You know, also don't quote Boaz every time. There are no Boazes in Nairobi.
It could be Otieno. It could be Njoroge.
Yeah. That's how you miss your destiny helper.
Security.
Yeah.
But I do understand, yes, some of the men in church are a bit too spiritual. And women also want to know where you're taking them. As she said, most men in church would not quickly answer the question on what is your short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan. And when women don't see that, they'll take off.
Okay, let me ask you then. Now that you said, third time you don't want to be taken home and stuff, that kind of thing. When then do you start playing the husband and wife roles? In terms of, you cooking for the guy, cleaning his house, cleaning his shoes, making his bed and stuff, When do you go to the house and you make sure that you work on everything, clean the TV?
Okay, can I remove my jacket? This is serious because those are skills that are learned. I don't have to show you that I know how to cook, press, and make your bed. For me to be...
No.
Your
Just
person.
the way you asked if a man is in debt, I also need to know if you can cook.
I would say this is a very touchy topic. Lord, I just want to be very polite. Bishop, that's not an SI unit to make me that woman for my man. I'm just saying the important things.
Yeah.
It's important that I can cook, but that's a skill that can be learned.
No, but I don't know if you can cook.
That's what I'm saying. Is that the most important? Is that why you're marrying me?
Well, it's one of.
It's one of. Can we see the most important things first?
What are the most important things to you?
The most important things are, is this woman virtuous? Do you think she's a good woman? Does she, how does she handle people? Is she loving? Is she caring? Does she go to the merchants and the ships from afar? Does she lavish her workers with fine linen. I don't know, all those things you read in Proverbs 31. There's no place it's written. And she cooks for her husband. And that woman finds a plot and she buys it. If you go find a girl who can buy a plot on her own, marry her. That's a Proverbs 31 woman. But guys are saying, oh, this chick has too much property. Oh, this chick drives us. Do you what? Hey, to lady, that's the woman. That's the Proverbs 31 woman. So if we went through that probably, then now you start saying, oh, by the way, could we cook? Why I was talking about the house thing is because the one-on-one in the house is not a thing. You understand? So if it's a group and we're somewhere with my girlfriends and we're all cooking and we're cooking for you guys and to apikie, you guys are like, hey, that went down, But this story, so this date, can we go to your house? And it's me and you. It's not a thing. It's not happening, bro. It's not. Sawa. We're not doing it.
Would you be dating with somebody and don't know where they live?
I can know where they live, but I'm not going to be.
How will you know?
See, we'll hang out.
Or we just drive around and say, I live there.
I'll pick Joy. No. I'll pick Joy. I'll pick Joy and her person. Do you have a person? Oh, I'll pick Joy and her person and we'll come and we'll hang out. That I'm just saying that story for one-on-one.
It's dangerous.
It brings a lot of boiling of the blood and it makes people stumble. And the cultural Christians, they're all about that stuff. Yeah, he'll have sex with you and have sex with that person, and you guys are sitting across each other saying, all the saints and they. And there's another chick already who's giving him a bad eye because everyone has actually had an encounter with a cultural Christian and not a mighty man of God. I think a mighty man of God will make environments for you guys to hang out and he'll watch you doing things. He'll watch you. And there's courtship. I don't even think still in courtship it's that place. I think you guys do pre-mat. I think there should be premarital counseling for people who are just dating. Because it's probably too late when it gets to, we're almost getting married and this chick can't cook. So now we've already taken Rora Show, we've done all those 3,000 things.
I was going to ask you about the premarital counseling, whether it should be done in dating or courtship.
It should be done when you meet a guy and you think he's a serious potential. We come to you and I say, you know what? This guy's kind of cute. What do you think, Bishop? Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But let me ask this another question now. What are you looking for in an ideal man for you?
Okay.
What are you looking for? And when you talk about you, you're representing others, other women, not just you as a person.
In church. Okay. I'm looking for a consistent person. Someone who is consistent and...
What do you mean consistent?
Consistent in terms of his ministry is planted somewhere. That's a big deal. Like I can come and ask you, Omondi J, because you have Omondi C, Omondi O, Omondi A. You know this person. They're planted, they're working towards their salvation. Thanks for getting it. Thanks. Yeah. So, and then I'm looking for someone who actually has a plan and is passionate about whatever it is they do. Because, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. It's a big deal for me to have someone who I can tell is having spiritual growth in one way or another. And this can be shown in actually his life and the things that are manifesting around him in terms of that kind of a thing. I'm also looking for someone who looks nice I can walk with in town, Again, you don't want to be, some guys looking some type of way, Gotta be cute.
What about if God speaks to you and the person is talking to you does not look nice?
I will have to obey. Me, I'm all about acting.
Even if he doesn't look nice?
It's okay. It's really okay. You know what will happen at that point? Even my heart and my mind will settle on him. I've dated some pretty not looking nice guys. You guys know yourself? Because somehow or another, we connected on something else, on a certain playing field. So imagine connecting spiritually. That would be beautiful, I guess. If God specifically tells me, and how I know God talks to me, is even the environment. Like I could have walked in here and literally the Holy Spirit would have told me, you shouldn't be in this show. And I'd have said, my stomach. And I would have left. Yeah. So I literally listen and I'm attentive to hear and to feel and to know what is God saying about this situation. But there are some constant things that you can see with a person who's actually a man of God. And that's a big deal.
Well, what is your take on it, Radwe?
Well, I do agree. And I know that's
you do?
where... no, I totally agree with that. And I've talked to also many ladies in many, many forums, especially church ladies, and that's what they say. But they look for that, but not many men manifest that, especially a man who is planted, who is your spiritual cover, who knows your story, who knows your journey? Many men cannot answer that question within the church circles. But having said that, there's also another side of the coin. As much as you're asking for that kind of man, are you that kind of lady
You tell
to
me.
receive that kind of man?
You tell me.
Because now the biggest problem, and I'm sure, which camera? Can I look at that camera? This camera. Okay. Many, many ladies walk like a pack of wolves in church. And they come and kagua and say, leave that one, leave that one. And then they convince you. Then 2 years later, they send you a card with the same man. They said, leave. And then that's a man marrying them. And so what happens is, the problem we have with the women in church is, fine, there's a place of seeking God. But you can't seek God for 1 year. And that is why there is no high turnover in the singles ministry in church, especially where women are concerned. It is not something to boast about by saying, I have been in the singles ministry for the last 7 years. That's not a testimony. Then why are you there for all that time? Because we are also not seeing that which we want. There's a sermon Bishop preached about what women need to learn from Delilah. You understand? Give us peace. You understand? But every time I come to talk to you, you go to your posse of girls. And they're like, no, but my ex-boyfriend drove a Range Rover Sport. How can you go with a guy who is on a Pro Box? So you're not capturing the man in the spirit. You are too much on the physical, but hiding behind spiritual words. But you're looking at the physical, tall, dark, brown, with an iPhone 20 and all those things, and then you just bring in flowery words from the scripture to make it look spiritual. But when you sit with your girls, it's all about this and that. Oh, do you think you look good when you walk with him somewhere? God, there's no bad-looking man.
I think money and all these things we see, they're things that can be made. Money is not something that's constant, and everyone who's made some money understands. You have money this season, I have money this season, we both have money this season. Those are things that fluctuate. So women who are actually looking for those physical things, it's a trap. Range Rovers, you are Rebecca.
Do you agree most women in church do that? Can we be honest?
Okay, I'll talk about my squad. My squad, we're going to buy our men those cars. So we are fine. Let me say something. This thing has popped into my mind as you are speaking.
No, but generally speaking, is that the truth? Forget about your squad, because your squad is very small and very little. Your squad is very little. But generally speaking, the bigger picture of things.
It's not a bad thing. Hiyo ni kitu tunaona, but it's not the most important thing. There are men who have those cars, but they have a terrible attitude. A singer once sang and said, heri ulie kwenye Range Rover, ama uketi kwenye bodaboda. Mi naweza lilia kwenye Range Rover. Because utalia kila siku. But can I say, Bishop, can I say something? This is like, it's really bugging my mind. These guys who sent you a card a year after that thing, those guys were not ready for marriage. What happened is, this guy was spending money and time on you and resources, and then when he was ready to marry you, you were distracted. This kabeb was available, and then pata potea. That happens. So it's not really, there's that issue I'm getting of being sliced. That's a thing. But I think men are focused. If a dude pendas you, he'll go for you. He'll be determined. He'll court you. Oh, that's one thing Christian men don't do. Pursuit. Can you teach them?
Pursuit.
Pursue. They have no idea what is to pursue.
I teach people all the time that men are hunters.
Good stuff.
And that men hunt after women. But the problem is that nowadays it's women who hunt after men.
If you like a guy, shoot your shot. But let me just say this.
No, Bishop.
Shoot your.
Let me. You're saying men don't pursue.
Acha nimalize. Nipe chance.
Fire extinguisher iko wapi? No, maliza.
Shooting your shot, not necessarily for God has told me you're my husband, but smile back. If you smile back, next time he'll walk up to you. So it's not ati kila sati ati unakango. It's not a chase. It's a hunt. Like it's not. You're not chasing not to be caught. You're not being chased not to be caught. It's like you chokoza, and then you go like 10 steps back. You do one step, he'll come the 10. So, but most chicks in charge, sura ngumu, me I'm saved. Kwanza I'm fasting. Uko tu hivi 24/7. The guy is even scared. Yeah. So, ka smile hapa na pale. You know, hi, praise God. I saw you. Did you get home well? You know.
I do agree, but as much as you're blaming the men for not pursuing, it's also because you may be availing yourself too easily. Because men love the chase.
In English, availing means what?
Yani unajipatia kimaembe.
You're too willing.
Yes. What am I saying? If my chase will be 10 kilometers, please don't over-open yourself in the first 100 meters, because then I lose the thrill. Whether a man is born again or not, there's something that holds everything called a man. There's a common string. And the one thing is that we want to sweat for something. That's how we are. Even when you go to the job market, even the sports we play, contact sports, we want to sweat for something so that when we get the prize, we feel, you know what, we worked for it. But now what happens, I know because of the ratio of women to men, there could be a level of desperation, and not in a bad way. But that should not make you quickly, even if you like I like what you say, smile, move back. But some smile and keep on coming.
And
So
keep
that
on
makes,
smiling.
yes, and what that does to a man, it says, if I found it this easily, if I even marry her or we're in courtship, other men have the same opportunity. And then we push back. And then we end up pursuing the one who keeps on running away from us.
But men are not like women. Women, actually, our curse was that our eyes and our heart will be for our husband only. Like, really, I'm just saying. Like,
Supposed to be that way.
yeah, but that's how it is. Just because I like you too.
But also
so now I don't show you, I wait for 30 minutes to reply your message. You know all those games guys play? At be unavailable for the first date when he asks you out. If he asks you out randomly in a span of 3 days, say no. If he does, I mean, it's tricky. See, tukwe to adults. Mi nakulike, na una ni like. I'm not quoting a song. I am not quoting a song. Because it's just so, those two games for Ati don't even open. No, you can't even open WhatsApp for 40 minutes. Your says take you online.
No, I'm not saying in that level.
Uko busy.
Hiyo ni autoi.
Okay.
But even in the conversation,
Okay.
there's a way your conversation should not be too quick. Like date number 2, how many children do you want?
Yes.
That will make a man run away. Trust me.
Let him run. He's the wrong guy.
Hang on, no. Before you ask me, how many kids would you like? Date number 2, we're having coffee, and the first date was 25 minutes. So date number 2 is on 10 minutes. So within 35 minutes of us meeting, you're asking how many children I want. First, before you ask me that, please manifest something that would also make me want to borrow your womb to carry my children.
Are we dating for data?
I'm in courtship. For me,
You're in courtship.
I'm not a believer of dating.
Yeah, then if you're in courtship, those are conversations you have to have. A very wise man, and this is the wisest, like this man just like spoke into my life. And he told me, Kerry, this man is going to get 3 children out of you. What are you going to get? Ask yourself that question. 3 atatoa hivi, sure. Na wewe je? And I have to ask myself that question. So it's a conversation that's very, very important. In the initial, the people who don't want children, I've actually sat down with a God-fearing person, and this guy was cute. And then he was a photographer. So hata angenipiganga picha. So yangekuwa hapa. But this dude just told me, you know what? I don't want to have kids. Actually, it didn't come from, it wasn't, oh, so how many kids do you want to
So
have?
how long did it take for you to discuss about kids?
This,
Second date, first date?
no, this was like 4 months.
Okay, that's
And it came from him. But those 4 months, ningekuwa na msee mwingine anataka watoi wa 7 kama mimi, na tungekuwa happy, sasa ningekuwa married. Do you understand?
We are sorry.
It's your fault.
So do you think anything that is too available is cheap?
What is too available? Let's describe it, because I'm finding it.
Well, the issue of, you said, you don't want to open the text, you don't want to reply, you don't, those kind of things.
Me, I don't
Playing
do
hard to
that.
get, does that increase your value?
No, I think you're a valuable person because of who you are, whatever you've built for yourself, inside yourself. I feel like if you like someone, I'm not saying be like, shower them with, like confetti as they walk in. There's this thing I'll do for my husband one day. Oh my God. I said 7. But I'm just saying, like, it's not something that you're looking forward to. Ati unajirusha, but you like this person. So like, I'm like, yeah, like what's this?
So what is the line?
What is the line? That's what I want to ask. What do you want? Unataka?
Wacha nijibu. Wacha nikwambie mimi nataka.
Unataka nini?
I want you to show me snippets that you like me. But I want you to understand, and every lady who is here and every lady who is watching, you have to understand the message that a man decodes. That if I have it this easy, other men will have it. May not.
Can
be,
we undo that message?
Wacha nimalize. Mimi ndo niko na microphone.
Mungu ndo aliweka hiyo message kwa kichwa yenu ama mmeambiwa?
How the mind of a man works, and I'm sure you men agree with me. Is that we say, okay, fine. So men, do you agree? Yes. Yeah. So that's what has made many people. The way, if you ask a man, what is your vision, and we can't answer, you take off, is the same way we decode some things. We decide for ourselves. Oh, so nimepata kirahisi hivi. So pia wengine wako na the same chance.
Rightly or wrongly. Let me interject here, maybe hear from a man if that is true. Can I have the microphone, please? I just want to hear from a man who wants to talk about this. Is it true that if a woman is so readily available,
Please.
the men get scared and stuff?
Oh, sure. I was saying it's such a pleasure to be at Coffee with BDM. I think my say is whatever is going to make a man manifest or a king manifest is the manifestation of a queen. So before a queen manifests, I don't expect a king to manifest. So this topic of and these sayings of there are no men in church, men are in church, kings exist, but have you as the queen manifested for the king to step forward?
Makofi.
Wow, that's so powerful. My goodness. That's a so powerful statement.
Let's hear what the lady would say here.
I just want to take another one just to
But
hear
you
what they have
guys
to
agree
say.
then women are the leaders then in this whole thing?
Thank you so much. My issue here is that there are men in church, true, but there's a problem. Men are not hunting. We're talking that men are hunters and women want to be hunted. Men are not hunting. We want to be told nice things, So maybe, Bish, you can clarify for us, how can a man flirt with a woman in church within lines, within the proper constraints, And I understand there's challenges in church, like there's a lot of scrutiny as far as men hunting women in church. You'll be seen with a woman under a tree and you're told you're fornicating, So how also can we create that environment in church to allow for men to hunt women within the proper constraints? Thank you.
Wow.
Hey, loaded.
Wow. How do you handle the gossip in church when you start dating? Because I think the church is the worst place even to start dating because people talk too much, people gossip too much. It's almost like you're just supposed to come, and worship God and just close your eyes from everything that pertains to your life. And yet the church is a place where you're supposed to not just think about God, but think about life. Because God teaches you about life and how you should be living. But when it comes to dating in the church, I think one of the things that puts people off is that they're even scared of the mouths from people. I mean, people are going to really talk, about the guy. They're going to talk about the woman. They're going to come to you. If you're a lady and tell you that guy is not the good guy, they're going to come to the guy and tell you that lady is not even good. Yeah. So the church being a community becomes a very dangerous, fertile ground for gossip. So how does somebody deal with that?
I think number one, and it's true, and if there's believers watching, many people have been hurt and have missed out on their helpers, destiny, and marriages because of the gossip in church, through Bible study, using spiritual ways to gossip people. But I think also the onus is on us who are being gossiped, for example, is to rise above that. As long as first and foremost, before God, you're doing the right thing. People will always say you're fornicating. You'll be seen even in a restaurant, public place. They'll say, this one's, you went there at 8 in the morning, it says, no wonder they slept in the same house, they've just come out from the same house. But if you know before God that heaven can hold your testimony, then you should rise above that. Even as spiritual leaders talk to us about this demon that is gossip. But having said that as well, maybe also we need to be very careful, as our guest here said, flirting with a woman within the constraints and the parameters of respectability and honor. Maybe sometimes we overdo it. We are seeing some people sending funny things and all that. So then you bring you water down the line of honor. You understand? Exactly. Yeah. You understand? But also, allow me to respond to what she said, that men are not hunting.
Before you go to that, can I talk about the narrative? The narrative.
Goja. You are saying men are not hunting. But also, women are too much in packs. Every time after church, you are standing 50 of you. You got to remove yourself from the many. Hang on.
So that you can be hunted.
You also, what I mean.
Hakuna buffalo inajitoanga kwa paa.
Ngoja nimalize.
Hakuna gazelle iko peke yake mahali.
What I mean is this. If you look at the animal kingdom, forget about the one that is being hunted to be killed. The hunting to be won over. What you do is position. Tell the man non-verbally, I'm different from these ladies who are just eating ice cream and mabuyus here at the church. Yes, you're eating yours, but in private, and then you move out to then you look at the man and you're like, I'm available. Not readily available, but this space is for you to come and manifest. You understand what I'm saying? But every time you are in Java, you are 50 of you holding some pink pens, gossiping, you are in blogs, and then you come to church after the kesha, you are also standing around the ice cream guy, and when a man comes, all of you are looking at this demon.
So you're not available to be hunted. Are you trying to say that they don't give you the opportunity?
You go to position yourself.
You want to be hunted, but you don't give the guy the opportunity to hunt you.
Exactly. Because you're too uptight. Because
What do you think about that?
Kunywa chai kwanza.
Okay. Let me start from where my train of thought is. I think I have a mind. Niko pia mimi na compartments. Compartment ya kwanza, on the narrative, before I come to being hunted, on lack thereof, because mostly that's what I'm going to tell you about. So at least you have a preamble. On the narrative, the best thing as the media does, you control the narrative. Give the story. Don't give them a chance to create a story for you. So you always have to be ahead of it. And that's just a technique. You can see me. I can consult for you for free. Communication specialist. Anyway, yeah. So be in charge of the narrative always. Be ahead. On hunting and hunters, me, I've never seen a hunt like National Geographic, because that's how we put it. Hii kitu lazima ishikwe. Yo, gazette lazima itakulwa. That's the point. But which one will it be? You know what I'm saying? So it is so appealing. I was going to use another word, but I'm under the constraints of the ministry. It's so appealing for a gentleman to walk up to you. Niko na my girls up and niko na Joy. I'm with Sharon, and we're there. And then he says, Kerry, can I talk to you? Hey! Jesus is Lord! Kerry.
Yeah.
Can I speak with you?
Yeah. That's more sexy?
Yeah. Oh, so good. That's a word.
Bishop got it out.
And even he can, just walk you away. Na even the girls will be like, "Denyo, what hatuwezi iba?" But awa kukuongelesha Friday night. And I could call Friday night. Saturday night, see, the babe that I know you guys are talking. So he's put everything. But the ladies, never be a secret. Oh, this is the topic of discussion. Never agree to be a secret. Kama anakuweka ka secret, akona secret zingine 30,333. So, no, you're not a secret. Introduce at least to a friend, to your pastor, something. And if you're dating someone from a different church, visit with him his church. Enda ukae chini. Na uone anakaanga na nani, wapi. But I'm just saying, can we just be to square secret? And if you're hunting, do the hunting. Be a gentleman. Let your agenda be known to people. Ikibafu ni sawa. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Next. Because you guys are like, oh, ego. I'm afraid to be hurt. So
but let me ask you, can a woman handle a relationship by herself without involving every other woman around her?
Accountability.
Because it looks like everything you guys do, you do it in packs. I mean,
Okay.
how is it that everything you do as women, even a small disagreement, everybody knows about it.
There's a role to play.
Why is it that way? I mean, men don't discuss you with other men. We are private.
Yes.
No, we don't.
Mimi nimediscussiwa. Kwanza kuna swali nilichomea akasema niko married.
No, what you're saying
I'm
is...
talking about if I am dating and I disagree with the person I'm dating with, I'm not going to be sharing with Robert, we have disagreed, we have discussed, what do I do?
Okay.
Or what do you do? But you guys discuss everything about what's happening.
Let me say that's a huge mistake. And first of all, not getting people who are trustworthy, people who are genuine. That one I can say there's an error in doing that. But a queen and a godly woman will not be out here painting her man in a certain way in front of anybody. The only person she needs to paint him to is Jesus. And you know what? I've actually been in a godly relationship that didn't end up in marriage. And it used to be those things this guy is doing something that I really don't like. But before I discuss it with him, I'm like, Father, can you see what your son is doing? Father, the next time, literally, God used to speak to this dude used to come to me and be like, you know what? I think what I did was, I'm just like, chai. So that's a real thing that I have experienced, and many people will experience in relationships. So that's just some advice out there. But yeah, that is a blunder. But that notwithstanding, it's good to have accountability because sin thrives in secrecy. So if you're secret about the two things you're doing, unanyamaza, anakuja kukupik 8 p.m., hakuna mtu unaambia, sijui ulilala wapi, that's a situation. So that's why it's very important to actually have a community and a solid people who are actually got your back. And that's something that you also find in prayer. Finding a genuine group of female friends who can tell you, that one you made a blunder. Yeah. Yeah. And men of church nowadays, they say neck up is okay. So kissing, is it okay, Bishop?
You know what? Well, they normally say that don't start what you can't finish.
Oh. So no neck up. Yeah, just nothing.
The problem I think most people say, and this is what I normally advocate, is that when you start petting. You know, there's petting and there's heavy petting.
Yes.
And I was going to ask you about that because that's why I asked if there's Christian dating. When do you stop? Even that flirting you're talking about. When do you stop the flirting?
Yes. And it's true because when it starts with the, the pecks and on the lips and all that, truth be told, it will get deeper and deeper because of the curiosity of the mind. By the time you're done, you'll go to his house and the next morning you'll be praying the prayer of David, in repentance and all that. So I'm a believer, what you cannot do in public, don't do in secret. Yes. Lakini pia,
PDA, me I can do all of them in
wacha
family.
nimalize. Pia, men will agree with me here.
My husband.
Sometimes, and
So does that make Christian dating boring?
it shouldn't be, but because of what you have put ahead as the main things in the dating, then it's meant to be to be boring.
Can we discuss the picture of Christian dating as you continue?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, but also, there are men, because I just don't want us to bash men. There are men who have also had to run away from women who are willing to sleep with them in the statement of, let me show you how you'll enjoy marriage. It's not just men who try to get women to bed within the church. It's also women who have put men under the pressure, and that is the truth. You understand what I'm saying? And then what would that do for a man? I would take off. Because if you're giving it to me like this, then even the foundation of the marriage will be wrong. So for me then, as Bishop is asking, does that make Christian dating boring? If we put those things first, then yes. But if we understand there's more to it.
Absolutely.
There's a vision, there's a mission. Where do you want to take us as a family? And you as a woman, will you give me a conducive environment to thrive as a king? The moment we can fill our minds with those things, marriage will come. And after that, you can enjoy those things that the world is enjoying.
But also this story for dating for 4 years, sijui how many years, aki sina ubaya na
How long
mtu.
is too long and how short is too short?
Yeah, I think by 6 months you should know whether you want to get married. I think because the closer you
6 months
get,
and more.
I'm saying you would know whether you want to get married or even be married for some of us. But like, by the time you're getting to a very wise woman told me this. This is like a celebrity. I don't know if I should say her name. No, let me not. She dated someone for 6 years. And the story crumbled. And then she met someone who was really serious about it and they got married. And she told me...
After how long?
After a year and a half.
Yes.
And she told me, never date anyone for this period of time without knowing whether or not this is going to the next level. Because then it's easier for you to start falling into temptation. Because now you start getting casual. Oh, Mara, tumetoka kesha, it's too late. So we crash at your house, then I'll go home at noon. And such boundaries start being messed up with. So even just in that, but as Burale has said, this was very key and I loved it, is that there's so many exciting things to do as couples. There's so many fun things. If you can't have fun when you're dating, how are you going to have fun when you're married? That's a fake thing. And dating is actually the best way the way a guy treats you when you're dating. Guy, ladies, that might be the best way you'll ever be treated. No one will tell you this truth. In marriage already, ako na wewe. Dating, ata they make time for you, they do all these things, then marries you and you expect all of a sudden, please, get it right from the beginning.
Bishop, I think after 6 months, there should be intention.
Okay.
After 6 months, there should be intention. 18 months, you can get married. But 6 years, that's more than a presidential term. So 6 months, there has to be. But even for the men, we want to hear, because there's this thing ladies keep on saying. When a man tries to say, okay, fine, I think, I'm still praying about it. I'm still searching. I'm still talking.
Ni vile hataki kukubreak heart.
So let me tell the men.
No, but what about if a guy says that, just want to make sure, so we can date for 5-6 years, I just want to make sure.
No, 6 years again.
What?
Because
I want to make sure you're the right person, I don't want to make a mistake.
Even
because
for-
it's
Bishop,
a
for-
lifetime investment.
no, for men, we have to be kind to the ladies, because the loss of 6 years in a lady's life is not the same as the loss of 6 years in a man's life. 6 years for a man, you can recover. 6 years for a lady, those are 3 children. Potentially 3 children. And women are homemakers. Women love the home. And for me, I will tell the men something. If a lady, after 1 year of you showing serious intent, is still telling you, my friends are still waiting to hear from the Lord. My crowd, we are still praying about it. I think I'll tell that man, put your feet on your shoulders and run.
Let me ask this then.
So
Is it true?
We have agreed so hard.
Well, I don't want to be personal, but you say that you've dated quite a number of guys.
You said it, but yeah, I mean the dating phase. I mean it's
Are you
what
in the
is
dating
normal.
site?
I have been on dating sites. Yeah.
Is it okay to be in a dating site as a Christian?
I think it's a dating site is an
Because
avenue.
life has changed, you know. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's an avenue to meet people. It's just an avenue to actually meet people and date them. So the problem with people is, and I don't think it's a problem, I think it's a reality. Most people marry people who are within the circle. Si ni mtu tu unajua, you understand? So all the time it will be, you can see most couples, there's somewhere we met, we were at this CU, or we went to school, or it's always, so that's just the same thing what I would say dating sites do. The problem is when you compromise on who you are. So it has to be clear, this is who I am from the beginning. So if someone wants to actually sit you down and you think that you'd like to hear what they have to say, because again, time, resource, energy, you're pouring into this person, then it has to be who you are meeting who this
So
person
you'd
is.
advise somebody to be on the dating site?
I'd say I don't have anything against it. It's just one of those things that you decide whether to open an Instagram account or not. I think it's one of those, do I want a TikTok? It's not compulsory.
Yeah, in light of the fact that guys are saying there are no men in the church, so you look for where the men are.
I think there are men are in the church. Bishop, men are in the church. It's the quality. It's the quality. It's a quality of person. And you know, this is so personal. And I can just speak to everyone in general. Are people continuously improving themselves? Because then you're always looking like you're light years ahead of someone, and there's no other privilege you have other than the desire to learn, the desire to grow as a person. So how are you improving yourself, and how are you getting better? What are you engaging with? Are you mentally, do you have any mental muscle? Even physical muscle is good. Do you work out, boys, in church? Don't have a Kitambi, uko present worship team, guys. I'm not saying anything bad about Kitambi.
Yeah.
Mwanaume bila balcony, you know, balcony? What is it?
The balcony.
Kitambi ni
Public
balcony.
opinion.
At least ni kama nyumba bila balcony, you know, mwanaume bila Kitambi. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Lazima go on the balcony.
I'm just saying that it's good to work on yourself. I'm not saying those are physical features. Let me just say it's good to work on yourself. Like that, it's such a, I don't use this word, but there's no Christian word for this. Turn on. For someone who is learning and growing continuously. It's such a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's amazing. What about the issue of dating too many frogs before you meet Prince Charming?
You meet people, man. Life is for meeting people. You grow, you expand your networks. At least unajua to restaurants. Kasa inaweza kuonesha restaurants kadhaa. We said something and we agreed on this one. Dating is for data. You meet people, you get to know them. If you have the capacity, you can meet many people, getting to know them. But once you and one person meet and you look and you agree, are we being exclusive? Then you can be exclusive. But don't expect me to be sitting home when you're busy. Because the person is dating other people. As long as he hasn't committed to you, he's not out there sitting down and waiting for you. Yeah. So also, ladies, enda chai, kunywa coffee, peppermint mocha, kunywa zote.
But allow me to add, yes, but there's a way you can reduce the number of frogs you will get to. How? If you're in line with God, then you know your value system. So if your value system is in line with God, then if somebody does not bounce off with your value system, then it's easy to disqualify those people. It reduces the number by even 60%. Because also, as you said, Bishop, church people gossip. They can say, this one is always where, and then it can make somebody, either a man or a woman, get scared. So based on your value system, I'm not married, I will get married, but I know what I want based on what I have discussed with God, and I feel that is right, Bishop. So then there are others who will come close to me, and I dismiss them at the first port of call.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hope you're following this discussion. It's really getting hot in here. We're going to be continuing in a short while. Just stay tuned and share to as many people as possible. And what a blessing it is to have this wonderful guest with us today. It's been really hot in here. Welcome back to Coffee with BDM, and we have got some great guests today who are discussing a topic that has been an issue not only in Kenya but in the world generally speaking. And I'm really thrilled to have them back to continue with this subject of are there men in the church. Now, I want to ask you, is there a place of romance in Christian dating?
Yes, there is a place for romance. And yes, Kerry, as you look at me, if, for example, I'm dating you, I can romance you non-physically.
How is that?
I write you a poem. I see you with the eyes of a blind man. I call you with the voice of a dumb man. You understand what I'm saying? You must, I hear your beautiful
All the ladies
voice,
are excited, man.
I mean, imagine.
Kerry's on the floor.
Imagine if I send a message. I hear your beautiful voice with the ears of a deaf man. I have romanced you. I have connected with you without necessarily undressing you to romance you.
What do you think? Is that true?
I think it's rather cute. I have a very bad memory of being that, vocal, poems and
Poetic.
all that. Yeah, this guy broke up with me. He was called Sketch. So automatically I was called Sketches, right? So he told me, you're not Sketches anymore, you're Sketch X, aka Sketchless. So it brings that back. I'm kidding. No. I think that's really, it's nice. Yeah, I think the ladies are agreeing. It's kind of cute, but they're not. But not from someone you don't like. There's someone who'll write for you something so lit, and then you're like, "Ay, ikitu ni refu. See more, see more." See less. So that kind of work. But for me, romance is different. Yeah, if you surprise me, go to my landlord and pay rent. That's
romantic.
So romantic.
That's the romantic you want, the romance you want.
So romantic. Yani nikipita hapo napata my receipt has been slid under my door. I'm like, receipt? Hello? Good evening. I'm just finding a receipt for 5 months rent. Oh, thank you. Or my mortgage, Yeah.
Let's get happy.
I'm just saying, that would be, that's romantic.
Okay. I get you. Let me take some questions from the audience. Do you have any questions from the audience?
Just to draw down this line about aunting and anta and auntie, is there a place of an ordained partner? So that Albia was talking about reducing the number of flogs before you get to Prince Charming. Is there anything like God ordained this person straight for me, say that I just look for that person straight and I just minimize all this looking left and right? Thank you.
I personally believe there's no really ordained person, that God has ordained for you, but there's the right person for you. There's the right person for you. The reason is the reason being, if there was really just one ordained person, that is meant for you, that would mean that, first of all, that if anybody made a mistake in that matrix, so many people will make that mistake. If a spouse dies, what happens? You can never remarry or do anything. So I think there's a right person for you. But then that ordained person that he's the only one or she's the only one, I don't believe in that kind of teaching.
We have another question.
Okay, thank you, Bishop, for this, and to all the guests, everyone, thank you. I have a question, and it's in regards to what you said. My question is it right for a man to pay rent or to pay bills? And if it is right for us to do that, at what point or at what stage should we do that? Thank you.
No, it's not a must that you should take care of the bills when you're dating. I think earlier we actually spoke about when do you start playing husband and wife roles. I think that should be very distinct and very clear. So I personally feel that once you start paying bills and paying rents, that takes the relationship to another level. And it is, I think, depends on you. For instance, helping somebody doesn't mean anything much anyways. You can help somebody pay the bill without any strings attached.
No
That's what I believe. You can I can help you without having any strings attached to you. But then I think it is the motive that really matters and why you're doing it. Are you just doing it because you're getting to know this person and maybe you see she's struggling and you can help her or you help him? It can be vice versa.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be just the one way. It's only that in our society then it's very patriarchal and we expect the man to be the man. But sometimes even the men need the help from the helpers.
Wow. I like that you
Wow.
Because there's a lot of toxic masculinity for you must have this before you get married, you must do this. So really nice guys, you know, you miss out on them because they're out here like, oh, me, I need to get here. I need to get to I need to do certain things for me to be able to fit into this, what it looks like to be a husband and to be. So I feel like that idea, and I love that you said it. There are times when you need support. There are times when probably you didn't have money growing up, you couldn't go to campus during the normal age. Now you're like in your 30s and it's when you're catching up with your education. I mean, that kind of a person, you can't put pressure on them to deliver on some things because they're actually paying school fees for themselves and maybe for other siblings. I'm just saying it's a whole thing, and I'm glad you brought it out.
Well, thank you so much.
I think the most powerful statement, even the helper sometimes needs help. That's a truth. But it's not mine, it's Bishop's, eh? Yes.
Are Christian men boring?
Quite.
Go ahead and expound it.
In terms of they're not curious enough and adventurous enough. It's
What do you
very
mean?
like the plan is we do after service. You know that service after service catch up hapo nje kwa parking lot. Hapo ndio nakukatilia. Like there's no form. Tutaongea kwa event.
You're meeting the wrong man.
Tuna meet kwa event.
You have meeting the
Si
wrong
niko
man.
hapa bado niko single, mtanionyesha. I'm not scared.
You're still single?
I'm not, yeah.
Single
as a
and
mango
available?
seed.
Single and ready to mingle?
Yeah, you're either single or not. I mean, cause single, single, but very happy. Very happy.
Do you scare men?
Like, boo. No. Are you scared? No. I have such a cute face. I don't think I can get scared. I think I know what I want and I know what it looks like. So if you bring a counterfeit, because I've already done counterfeit phase, that's done for me. And by the way, that's a real stage, yeah, in relationships. I'm done with counterfeit phase. Sasa ndio the real deal. So when you come out here fronting it and you ain't it, bruh, you gonna walk away and you're gonna cry to your mother.
Let me ask you now that you talk that. What are the red flags to watch out for?
Oh, inconsistency. Hey, that
What
one.
do you mean by inconsistency? Nobody's consistent.
No,
It's
kuna
only Jesus who
inconsistencies
is.
in stories.
Only Jesus is the same yesterday, today, forever.
There's let me tell you, there's inconsistencies in stories. All you need to do is ask someone the same question twice. And you'll see an inconsistency in a story. You can always know. A huge red flag is people who don't respect women generally. You can tell someone, in fact, a guy who doesn't love his mother, please run for your life. Because that's a first person, like that's a first woman he knows how to love, other than his sisters and all that. So there are those things. I mean, there can be strains in relationship, but not a guy who, you know, just how people treat, you know, basic people. Like in a restaurant, how do they treat the waiters? How do they speak to you? Are they kind? Are they polite? Are they consistent? And is he actually trying to priest you? Because hatuwezi kwa tunaongea nawe every day, we're both Christians, and you don't share with me the word of God. There's no way, and I can't keep being the one all the time. Mimi ndio nitaomba, you know? Yeah, so I think those are a few things, but I think queens need to learn the concept of asking questions. Ask many questions, and you'll get many answers, and you get to know whether this guy is legit or he's not. And if he's not, he will run himself.
Okay. Sorry, I'm asking you too many questions.
No, ask. I'm here. I'm available. Ask
How much baggage is too much to deal with at the dating stage?
baggage.
Yes.
In terms of he has kids.
How much baggage is too much?
If it's someone who is your partner, I don't think there'll be too much baggage because you're here to support one another and carry the load. So really, I wouldn't say the problem with baggage is when you're lied to. You're told, hey, my baby mama died. Kidogo kidogo, +7 for nini, pring. What my husband? Yeah, so guys have to be very honest and open. And I feel like if a man comes and is open with you, there's nothing you can't handle. I mean, children are a gift. That's not a big deal. Yeah. Loans, they can be paid off with a certain amount of time and just the partnership. I'm just saying those are the few things I can think of the top of my head. But if someone came and lied to you, I've met someone who actually lied about what they do. And they literally used to go to that office at Nyayo House that they work there. And the person never worked there. It just took a matter of time. And of course, we know many people growing up and you're like, but this guy actually works with you. Who? What office? 3rd floor. Where? Ghost workers. Hey. So anyway, I'm just saying, time reveals so many things. And patience is so beautiful. Me, I'm so patient. But if you give me a story, I'll just be like, hey, wow, look at what God has done for you. In 2 weeks, I'll be. There's someone actually I told I was coming to meet you, and they said, I asked them, which church you go to? They said House of Grace. Then they told me, don't ask the bishop about me. And I was like, do you go to House of Grace? You know, that really switches up. Because someone said, I'm planted. Oh, you are? Which church do you go to? I go to House of Grace. Ah, I'm meeting Bishop Mureithi tomorrow. Don't ask him about me. You see, you can pick these things up, and they are there, and everything reveals itself. God is so good. I think God loves me so much. Every fake person who has ever shown up in my life, somehow they scatter. And also the prayers of my mom prays for me and my person. So yeah, nawafukuzanga pia mom wacha. Yeah. Wacha. Yeah, so baggage inakuanga tu hiyo, kids, dada, pesa, mostly.
What about you?
I think the same. If the lady has a child or children, they must be clear about the relationship with the father of the children, not to get surprises later. But one red flag that I would tell every man to look for, the most dangerous woman is an insecure woman. An insecure woman can end up embarrassing you two as a couple, can end up doing so many crazy things, taking your phone and inboxing every woman, your auntie, thinking that's your girlfriend and everything.
He is mine.
Yes, so an insecure woman is a very dangerous woman. But the first thing I think we need to look for, and to the man, is the lady so, Maya Angelou said, the lady must be so hidden in God that to find her, you must find God.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I cannot add anything.
Very, very powerful. Last question maybe. What are the voices that you need to cut out from when dating?
Number one, if you have friends, the people who only point out the negative. They don't want, when you say anything positive, they have to counter it with a negative thing. They want to pick about, but, avoid those people. Because if you listen to those people a lot, you will never ever get married. Also, the voice that comes to castigate other couples to you. A person who talks about other couples, they're not happy about the success of other couples, that is a person who has planted the wrong seeds that will come back to bite you as a couple. So you have to listen to what they're saying about other people.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I guess there's a doubt. There's people who are not pro-marriage. I don't think you should be hanging out with people who are not pro-marriage. People are like, marriage is the worst mistake anyone can make. The people who actually say verbatim those things and like, it's okay, me, I'm called to celibacy. Those kind of people avoid. I think the biggest voice you should not listen to is your own countering, self-defeating. There's a voice inside you that's always putting things down, even though they are perfect. Unatafutia tu mtu makosa every week. You know, like you pray too much. How is that a problem? How is that? Yeah. So there's that defeatist voice, and it's just really bad. So we need to completely counter it and only hear the voice of God, really.
Thank you so much. It's been such a joy to have you, RB, and Kerry for coming. Thank you for discussing this thing so openly. And now we know that there are actually men in the church. I think we agree there are men in the church, but maybe they need to work on themselves as the women work on themselves. It has been Coffee with BDM. What a joy it has been. Thank you for sharing and thank you for tuning in, and God bless you. See you right here next time. God bless you. It's me, Bishop David Mureithi.